Hello, my lovelies. Well, we have Dimitri Mushrooms on shortly. He's there waiting to go and talk about all this latest drama that's been going on that people are talking about on this side of YouTube. And what was said by who he was saying about, and all this business. 'Cause people like Jingle Jangle Jim Smith are sort of like getting really excited. Quite disturbing hearing him playing with himself, talking about who I've been going with and all this business, imagining in his head scenarios. But anyway, let's get on. Oh, I'll give a few shout outs. Hiya, James. Hiya, Skids. I haven't seen you for a long time, Skids. I haven't seen you for a long time. Welsh Girl, Kelsey, Denise. I'll give shout outs to some. Oh, Crafty Cow. Hello, darling. Here we are. And you can go and get stuffed. If that Susan comes on again, Kelsey, right? Susan Crash on, who I think is it's that creepy one, isn't it? Emma's little ass monkey, Geordie boy. I'm pretty sure that's Geordie boy. It might not be. It could be because they were strange. Geordie boy started saying what that's one was saying that Susan one was saying the day after she was saying it. So if she comes on again, don't forget automatic ban. Don't let her say it. So, and this one's going as well. Just clean it up because you don't want idiots coming up. And for just before we start, Dimitri, I'll give my lovely mod, Kelsey, this. And so anyway, without further ado, let's introduce Dimitri Mushrooms.
Well, hello there, my lovelies. Hi, Anne. Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, all right. It's been quite a roller coaster, hasn't
it? Yeah, it has. I do apologise if you can hear all the fireworks popping off in the background, but obviously it's the celebration of somebody trying to overthrow Parliament, and Scousers obviously like that kind of narrative, like.
Just Kelsey, can you ban that Susan one? I'm seeing her popping up, popping up again. Just saying, there's this one that comes in the chat. It's definitely a troll.
Yeah, I know. And she's been leaving some of the awfulest comments, or him has been leaving some of the awfulest comments on Amy's content all week.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So I just can't be bothered with things like that. So to give people a rundown who don't know, I think you all do know. There's all this commotion over these leaked videos of Amy, isn't it? Going on about you trying to cop off, for want of a better word, with a trans person, and people naturally presumed. But I can understand it though, Dimitri. I can understand it. I mean, you've only got to look at me and understand that.
I've got to admit, like, it was really, really subtle to us, but I did detect the sarcasm in the video you made about the situation. Yeah. Like, I had to second guess myself a couple of times and think, oh, maybe Anne is like a little bit delulu. But
I think what it was, I think the giveaway was when Amy turns around in the video and starts saying, she looks like a boy. She looks like a boy. I mean, come on, people out there. You've got eyes in your head. Could you ever describe me as looking like a boy, a man?
Yeah.
I'm the most feminine, gorgeous creature on the. I mean, Audrey Hepburn. Come on, when you look at me, you think Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe. That's what you think. I don't look like a boy, so that was a giveaway that it wasn't me. Amy was referring to, but I'll let you.
Yeah, I suppose to put that situation of, like, I mean, I don't agree with them being leaked in the first place, messages. I don't particularly agree with the fact of the way that me and Amy were particularly behaving in that moment either, but to put context around the situation, and some people on here already know this, and the people who it's a shame because the people who leaked those messages actually already know this as well, or
Can,
at least some of them do. But
can I
it
just
was,
say, Dimitri, just let's say something.
yeah,
Craig's in the live at the moment. Now I haven't
that
asked.
that's all right. That's all right.
Do you want him to
That's
come on?
fine.
Do you want him to come
Sorry.
on? Do you want me to invite him on?
I'd prefer not to at this moment in time,
Okay.
man. I would prefer to just have our chat at this moment in time. Maybe in a bit,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
I'd prefer just to clear up what I've got to clear up with you at
Mm.
this moment in time. So to put a bit of context around that situation, and yes, it was a very silly argument, and yes, it should never have been put in a group chat in the first place and things like that. I understand all that. But to put context around the situation, and I have said this on lives and in videos that I made into JDP in the past before. I've had a friend for many years. When I first started knowing this person is a biological female. She was a female, or she was non-binary, at least.
Mm.
And she used to come round and mine, would play the PlayStation, would have a few spliffs, would listen to music, just generally hang around like I would with that person. And during my friendship with that person decided that they were going to go and seek psychological and medical help on how to transition from a girl into a boy. I support that person through that decision. We had, we had a laugh about it. We had a cry about it. Whatever. I was a good friend of that person. I still am a good friend of that person. I've known that person a long time. What one when Amy came to Newcastle with me for us to gather me belongings and move to Newcastle and what have you, we sat and we had a drink with said person, and everything was fine that evening. There was no worry. Amy got along with that person. I got along with them. We sat and had a little drink. We listened to some tunes just as we would normally do. The argument came from the context, from the situation of Amy questioning whether I'd ever been with that person or whether I'd ever been interested in that person, and me being straight up honest as I would be with me partner at the time. Bearing in mind these messages of me and Amy had only been in a relationship about 5-6 weeks, something like that. So Amy asked me if I'd ever been involved with that person, and I, being bluntly honest, replied that no, I hadn't been involved in that person. But at one point, I had felt, I felt as though I fancied that person in a moment, and I messaged that person and said that I liked that person, and that person knocked back my advances in that moment. But from my perspective, I'd always seen that person as my non-binary but biologically female friend. And I know during that process that person was going through a lot and transitioning. But you know how you feel sometimes in a moment. I'd hung around with that person for a long time. We were in a friend relationship or whatever. I supported that person, they supported me, and I decided to proposition that person for something more in a moment. And yeah, I was brutally honest to Amy when she asked us about that scenario, and I could have just said, "Oh no, I've never even seen him that way." You know what I mean? I could have been brutally honest. I could have like skirted around the truth with Amy in that scenario, but I didn't skirt around the truth. I said, no, I've never been with that person, but yeah, once I did kind of proposition that person for something maybe more than just a friendship, which I got swiftly knocked back from. And that's what the that's what the argument is about.
Yeah.
And that's and contextually those messages show nothing of the actual whole arc of the situation. You know what I mean? But I understand people have held a grudge with me and they want to put out private things
But
about me to try and get back at me. You know what I mean?
I'm going to just say this right now, the background to it, and yeah, it's like Craig. What I can't work out, and this is a question that I've asked: how did Craig get hold of these videos?
the the messages were put in a group chat that there was several people in, because the voice notes and because obviously Amy was very upset at the time. Amy herself posted, which was very silly of her, which is aware now as well. Like, but Amy herself posted the voice notes and those two videos into the group chat with the people that were trustworthy friends, to try to, I don't know, to try and get some advice, or try and get some, I don't know,
Well,
she was upset,
it's
you know what I mean.
see,
And obviously it was a drunken argument as well, you know what I mean. So
yeah, I know what you're talking about, but that was it. It was like, how did it get there? But what you've got to understand about what this is the way I see it, Dimitri. Now, you might have information I don't have. You most probably will have, and other people don't have. But this is the way I see it. All kicked off over this song that Amy put up there, and Craig asked her to take it down. Hedgehog Man asked her to take this song down, and then from what I can tell, Amy just went ape over being asked to take it down. Now that's where it all speared from, and then
I don't
let's
think
just
this,
finish.
yeah,
Wait a minute,
okay,
Dimitri. Let's
yeah.
finish that line because you're jumping in before I have the question out there. Then, what happened was, and this is leading up to why I think Craig put them out there, is that you suddenly started saying you didn't care whether Craig got a beating or not. You were going to put that song up again and again and again. Now, in that way, I can understand why Craig would want to retaliate like that, because he's thinking, wait a minute, you're my mate, because he does think highly of you, I can tell you.
I know he
Dimitri, he
does.
thinks very highly of you. And that must have been like a punch right in the face to him when he heard you saying that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's my view.
but just to take, but just to like take it back. This situation did not start with Amy posting the song that Craig made about Paddy. This situation started with Amy having an opinion about the Scotty J situation, and Sheriff going off his cake, threatening to come round to her house and doorstep her, and then threatening me. And the situation didn't start with Amy posting a song. The situation started with both Paddy and Sheriff directly threatening us, just like you did the narrative. Amy posted the song in retaliation to that. And I've had my say on what I thought that Craig, on how I thought Craig should have handled that situation, by going back to them and saying, well, because I guarantee you, if Craig had stood up for me and Amy in that situation, that song would have been taken down, and there would have been no need for copyright strikes and all of this and all of that. And yeah, like when things escalated, I did say things on videos in the heat of a moment, saying, "Well, I don't give a fuck if he gets a hide, and he should be the one standing." Like, but in that's a heat of a moment thing. But I don't think that it's right to start the arc of the narrative from the point of Amy posting that song, because if we hadn't been receiving vile videos made by us on a daily basis by that horrible sheriff, and direct threats from Paddy Conroy, the song would never have went up in the first place.
Yeah, but what you're doing, this is it, Dimitri. This is what I said to you at the time, no, when it first happened. The fact is that I know you're saying it starts from that. No, it may have started from you from that point with Sheriff and Pop Up, but it started for Craig, as I can see it, when Amy refused to take the song down and started going off
Yeah.
on one. That's when it started with him. He had
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
to do with
that is when it started with Craig being involved in the situation. But also, just for full disclosure, and I'm not sure if Craig or whatever knows this fully. Until Craig posted that vlog of him where he was shaking Paddy Conroy's hand at the end, saying, "Oh, anybody who plays that song, then I'll take it down." I was 100% unaware that was a deal that was made with Craig and Paddy, and Amy was even less aware. Like I didn't realize that it was going to cause that much shit, and it wasn't me who posted the song in anyways. But
I
if I
know.
did, if I did realize that it was going to cause this much trouble, I maybe would have had a quiet word in Amy's ear and said, "Oh, Craig's made a deal with Paddy, and it's going to cause him a load of shit." But I swear on all that is holy, I was unaware that was. That was some kind of contract. I was
Well,
unaware
it
of that.
was. Well, I said it to you at the time when we were talking. I said, you know, when it first went up, I said, you've got to understand. I said, he's told Paddy that he'll, because what Craig wanted to do was he wanted to tell people, you know, can you take it down and ask them. But Paddy insisted. He said, no. He said, you strike them. You don't ask them to take it down. You strike the channel. That's
To
what
be fair
Paddy
to him, he
said.
did. To be fair to him, he did ask for the song to be taken down. He asked me for the song to be taken
Yeah.
down, and I said it wasn't up to me. I didn't post it, and then he asked Amy for the song to be taken down, and Amy said no, but she felt that she'd been threatened, and she felt as though she had a right to retaliate in that moment.
You see, the way I see it, Dimitri, and I'm trying to be,
I mean,
'cause-
Amy can speak for herself, and I've told her that if she wants to come on the live tonight and speak for herself, she is welcome. And I'm not going to speak for her all night long. I just want to clear up what's been said about me more than anything else.
yeah. But it's if Amy wants to come on, she can come on as long as she watches the language. Because I don't want to
Yeah,
be now swear words all day tomorrow to get it.
yeah, okay,
But if she wants to come on, she can come on because
yeah,
there is a lot of, I say, stuff there, and people as asking questions. You know, well, what
yeah.
was this, what was that, and well, let's see how it goes. But I'm just looking at Rach. Rach is putting it. Rach, would you be interested in Rach coming on if she wants to come on?
No, and to be honest, for now, I would still just rather, like, there's still a few things I want to run through and speak to you about. For now, at least, I'd still
Come on
rather
then.
just, yeah. So, because there's a few things I've actually, believe it or not, I'm not a very listy person, Anne, but I've actually got a bit of a list here because I've been seeing things in comments and things that I want to address, and there is a few things that I need to go through that have been levied at me this week, and accusations that have been made, not from Craig and Rachel and them lot, just things that I've seen people repeat multiple times in comments on my videos and comments on Amy's videos since all this has come out. So I want to go through this and chat to you about the points on the list, and then maybe if guests want to come on, then I've got all night. You know what I mean?
She doesn't want to come on. She just said, "I'm not getting involved," and because I'm still quite annoyed at him. Say, what was it saying that him and Craig were never friends? No, you were friends, weren't you? Or did you
Well,
say
yes, we
this?
were. Yeah, yes, we were friends. We were friends. But but the thing is, the reason that statement was made in the video, and maybe it's come across wrong, and again, maybe didn't have the, like, kind of correct articulation on my shoulders to be able to put it right, because I was a bit annoyed when I made that video because of the things that I was saying wrote. The reason that I said that is because I must have seen 50 comments this week saying, "Oh, your girlfriend's lost all your friends. Now you've got no mates. Now you don't know anybody. You're just stuck with her." I want people rest assured that I met Craig 5 or 6 years ago. I'm a 39-year-old man. I had some fun times with him. I've had some great times with him. We've done things for each other. We've helped each other. We've lent each other money. We've a lot of our friendship during that time was based around drugs, and we would take them together and we would have a ball together, and we formed a good bond, and I'm never going to deny that. And you know that bond would probably still be there if it wasn't flawless, if it's not in any ways, you know what I mean? But I didn't say Craig. I don't know. I didn't say Craig was never my friend. I don't think I did. What I was trying to put straight is that people making videos and people writing comments saying that I've lost all my friends seem to think that YouTube is a be all and end all of existence. I've got plenty of family and friends, and those people, Craig and Rachel, and the so-called cult that I was a member of, you know what I mean? They know that that I haven't lost all of me friends, but I seem to be getting that a lot. Trust us, I haven't lost all my friends. You're my friend, aren't you, Anne?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there we go then.
See, I think what it is, this it's so difficult, and this way it gets difficult. No, there's always, you're seeing it, and Craig is from the inside. You're in the situation. You're the ones actually getting the effects of what's going on the outside. I'm seeing it from the outside, and so are
Yeah,
other people seeing it from the outside. And it
yeah, I
doesn't
get
all,
that. That's where YouTube is. Yeah,
we see it, in other words, we'll see it differently. Now, the way I see it is that this is petty. Well, not petty. I say it's wrong to say petty because it will be important to Craig and it will be important to Amy and it'll be important to you. So that's the wrong way to use, but because it's not affecting me directly, I
oh
don't get
no,
those
and
feelings.
don't get us wrong. It's the right word to use. It's all pathetic. Like don't get us wrong. You're 100% right by using
Yeah.
that word. Like,
But if but from I'm looking from it, can I be really, really direct and honest?
you can
What
be as
I could
direct
get.
and honest as you want with me, Anne, or as always.
What I see is, or what I sense from my perspective, is that there's a toxic relationship going on here, and that's what's causing the situation to go on
A
as it is.
toxic relationship between who, me and Amy?
You and Amy, yeah.
I don't think that's the case at all, and I haven't even been with Amy long enough for toxicity to really brew within our relationship.
I say I don't know the full situation, but that I just thought I'd put that out there, just so you could
Yeah, but
defend yourself against it.
that moves me very nicely on to the next point in my list. Okay, and
Mm,
that and that's allegations of we're being druggies and blooming, Amy's a smackhead and what have you, Okay, I'll tell you this from my bottom of my heart, the truth from the bottom of my heart. Okay, I knew before I met Amy that she was in recovery and that she'd had a problem with heroin in her life and she got prescribed methadone, she got prescribed other medications, blah, 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 blah. I've known that from day one. That's been absolutely no secret to me, nothing at all. Okay. Now, sometimes, and on that video, that was one of those times included, sometimes people in recovery fall off the wagon. Sometimes they relapse.
mm,
Okay. And during the weekend when that video was filmed, or the week, maybe the week after or so, Amy had relapsed. Okay, why do you think I was maybe so annoyed in the video in the first place and calling her irrational and because it had pissed us off because she'd relapsed, and you know what I mean. And
yeah,
I'm aware that that's a part of recovery. I stuck with it. I'm still with her. That's fine. That's what people who are committed to each other do. That they help each other. I wasn't happy about the situation about her having to go and buy a bloody bag of something that I've never seen or done before. You know what I mean? I wasn't happy about that situation, but it happened. And it's over with now. It's done with now. And now what people are doing by leaving comments saying she's a smackhead, she's a crackhead or whatever, get out of the relationship, is harming her recovery. I don't understand why, you know what I mean? All these ex-addicts who are on this corner of YouTube think that that's all right to do to somebody who's trying to better themselves himself. It blows me mind.
I think what it is, I've noticed, knowing she's responding, I've read the comments and how she responds to them. You can tell she's taken the comments really to heart. And what it is, I mean, I don't know how long Amy's been on YouTube, but when you first come on and you do start getting people coming at you like that, I've had that. I've had that a few times. At first, it's horrible, but somehow you just learn to toughen up so much that you just
Oh yeah.
up them up, yeah.
Like the thing is, and I'm hardened skinned. Like, if I'm perfectly honest with you, I've had the piss taken out of me since I was a school kid. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I've always been a goofy kid. I've always been a lanky kid. I've always been a bit of an oddball. Blah de blah de blah. This when I first came onto YouTube, having comments saying you're a goofy lanky kid didn't mean fucking anything to us. It didn't bother us at all. I've had it all my life. You know what I mean. But some people are more sensitive and they react quicker. You know, the react maybe without thinking first, because emotions, sensitivity rules emotions, and then people saying do daft things when they're triggered.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, this is what I said in my video that it did, because I put that out because I knew it was going to be put out. I just knew.
of course.
This is
To be
coming next.
perfectly honest, I appreciate you doing that,
Yeah.
Anne. Like, yeah, I do appreciate you doing that. Not like I knew it was going to get put out as well, but like the fact that you did that first and had you say it first, I did appreciate you doing that.
But the thing was, as I say it, and as I've always said, right, I had, I'm talking about a similar situation here. Do you remember when I fell out with you and Amy? Bad start.
Yes.
And it lasted
Yes.
a few days. And that was, now what was that I was triggered by? Oh, something absolutely stupid. It was triggered
It was.
by...
It was something that I said on a video or something.
No, it wasn't it. And you said what it was. You and Amy, and this is how, I don't know what, I must have been just oversensitive that day. You and Amy, or Amy retweeted and started saying how wonderful, you know, Chris, is it? JDP's mate.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well,
Yes, and he had been quite well. He'd been quite a bigot towards you. He had,
oh,
like,
what he had been
yeah,
horrible. But what happened
yeah,
was, I saw that and I thought, oh, you know, how dare, got into that instead of thinking, well, but it got from there. And I remember I was saying some nasty things, very, very nasty things.
yeah.
But you just try to rein it back. But I say no one should be going on to anyone. If you want to have a go at Amy, have a go at it. If you want to say that
Yeah.
she's a bitch, because people saying she's a homophobe, a transphobe, whatever, say that. But you don't have to go on to the substances
Yeah.
or anything like that, or calling it, because
Exactly.
it's going nasty. That's going low.
Crafty cow. Can you show me one video where Amy has where Amy has slagged off Scotty? Can you show me one video where either me or Amy have slagged off Scotty? They're like, I would like Crafty Cow to dig that out if she can, because I can tell you now it doesn't exist. Actually, to be fair, there is videos where I've slagged off Scotty. I did a full show over a year ago, slagged off Scotty, but those aren't on YouTube anymore. But
no, there's one, Jimmy, I have to put you right here. There's one, do you remember that horrible one where Craig was Video Hedgehog Man or whatever it's called now? They had him on there, and there was a group here, and you were all
I was on
giggling at
there.
him.
I was on
I
there.
know,
Yeah.
you were on there. Everyone was giggling. That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. That was worse
Yeah.
than calling him a smack at that, in my mind.
Yeah.
because it was a giggling
Okay. Like, yeah. Okay. I regret the way I behaved in that live, but I don't think that I personally was too harsh on Scotty in that life, but I still regret taking part on it because it wasn't nice, and I understood the backlash when it occurred.
Because he just seemed so vulnerable at that time, and I was watching and thought, oh no, this isn't good. This isn't one bit good at all. But as you say, the past is the past, so you can't go.
Of course.
You can't go back in the time machine and do right. But this situation, what do you feel like your friendship with Craig is now? How do you feel that stands now? And it's that.
Well, at this very moment, it's nondescript. It's dead. But like, I don't know. I don't know.
But can you understand why? Can you understand why he reacted like that?
Yes, yeah, I can
Yeah,
understand why, but like I've had no real conversation to like balance out if he can understand. Well, maybe this will help. Like reach out to him. He's obviously in the chat, but like you know what I mean. I've had no real conversation to see why he can't understand why we felt the way that we did either.
well, I think what it,
Reconciliation is part of life. Like
yeah,
I don't rule anything out if it takes 6 months, a year, 5 years. You know what I mean? Like you can always get over things. Like you know what the test of a true friend is, in my opinion. The test of a true friend is somebody that you've fallen out with and reconciled with.
yeah,
Because if you've never fallen out with you, I've never fallen out with Craig over anything. But if you've never fallen out with somebody and then had to reconcile and smooth over your differences, then you've never had that like that side to your friendship. Be like, you know what I mean? And that's an important part of any relationship to be able to be able to have a blow up and reconcile. That's what a real true friend is. What like no, in my opinion, nobody's really close to you unless you've had a big blow up with them and then had to reconcile between you and find common ground.
yeah. It's this. It's a. But hopefully, it will all get sorted in the end because he does. Because I know personally, speaking to a young man, he does. He his friendship with you meant a lot to him, a hell of a lot to him, and it's
Yeah,
just
well,
that
vice
this,
versa.
this Amy situation just poof, blew up, and that was it. But I think
Yeah,
he was, to
yeah,
me, the way I look upon it is that it did. Amy's response wasn't ideal. Let's put it that way. Her response to it wasn't ideal. The way I would have just took that song down and said, "All right, it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the hassle." Having all this kicking off, but it seemed to grow and grow and grow, and of course, she was getting all kinds of abuse from people from
yeah,
different
but
sides.
but again, like no, like she shouldn't have to back down anyone. Craig wouldn't back down anybody if they wanted them to remove something, a piece of that. Like Craig didn't back down to Decca or Paddy Conroy in the original instance, did he? Like he said, "Fuck you! I'll post what I want on YouTube." So, like, why
Yeah,
should anybody back down to anybody? Like,
but isn't it different when you're friends?
well, I suppose yeah, I suppose it is. But it still doesn't over there bear the point that nobody can tell anybody what content to post. Yes, okay, his music's copyrighted. He can dictate whether it's posted or not. But he couldn't for a little bit. And why should she have to back down because she's told so?
Because he's
Just like
under
anybody else. Just like anybody else.
because he was getting threatened with harm. That's why.
But
That's the
but
difference. He was getting
uh,
threatened
well
with getting his
well
record.
I'd like to see proof of that.
Well,
I,
he was
he,
approached, wasn't he? What happened was
he's been threatened with harm for years and years and years and years because of what he's done online, and not a single thing has happened to him. Not a dot, not a single thing. So why would Amy post a song make it any different?
no. What I'm saying is he was approached. Remember, he went to some fighting thing, didn't he? And he was approached by people and told. He
Well,
was
I didn't
warned.
know nothing
Not just
about
yeah.
this.
Well, this is it, um, Dimitri. You don't know a lot. That's the thing. There was a serious reason why Craig had to do what he did.
Right. Well, okay. Well. Maybe if this was disclosed to me that he was going to get done in, like properly disclosed, then things might have been different. But it wasn't, was it? Uh,
But how did you miss all that? That's what I can't get, Dimitri. How did you miss the fact that he was threatened when he was at this event, and then he went down to the shed, and you missed all that? I can't get how you
I,
missed all
I,
that.
I didn't watch him in. Well, I watched him in the shed for all of 15 minutes when he first arrived, but I don't watch Paddy's content. I don't watch anything Paddy Conroy puts out at all. And just because Craig was made it a bit special for 20 minutes and then I turned it off. So I didn't know about No Deal. I swear to God I didn't.
And Amy didn't.
Well, how would she know any more than me?
I don't know, because everyone, this is it, Dimitri, everyone else knew about it. I mean, I knew about it. I watched it.
Everybody else in the world must have watched Paddy's lives then. Everybody on YouTube must have known about it.
What I'm saying is, Dimitri, I'm being honest here. I can't see how you missed it. That's the truth about it. I can't see how you missed it. Everyone else and everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, because I don't sit there and watch Paddy Conroy's 3 hour lives where our Bully's on it, Scotty J's on it, Craig's on it, or Santa Claus is on it. Like I don't watch these 3 hour lives, so I did miss that bit, and I swear to God, for all the group chats, for all the friendships, for all anything, nobody has ever said to me, "Oh, there's a big deal being made about this song." You know, yeah, like please, lads and lasses. Nobody said that to me ever, and also just again to reiterate. I didn't have anything to do with posting the song.
Oh, I know you didn't. But I'd say, hopefully, it's going to rectify itself sooner or later. And it's like that on YouTube. You know, it can all be up in the air. Everyone's getting at you, and then the next thing they move on to someone else. It always happens like that. So this isn't going to be the life for Amy forever.
Of course, it's not. Like blooming hell, like in the next blooming week, somebody else will be the talk of the tune, and that'll be it. In fact, you know what it is, Anne? I hesitated about even speaking to you tonight because I just knew for a fine fact that as soon as I've spoken to you tonight, we're going to get a load of more videos with us tagged into it, and we're going to get a load of more shit. And I could have just left it, and it would have all fizzled out. But I felt the need to put a couple of things straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. I mean, because it needed to be spoken about and all that, and put because you weren't being given that voice, were you? And it'd be interesting. Well, Craig's put out why he acted the way he did. Well, in concerning the song not being taken down, but he hasn't explained why these notes have been put out there. But I can understand him in a way. I know you won't like hearing that, I dare say, but I can understand why he's done it in a way, because he must be absolutely when it all blew up between you and him.
Well, neither me nor Amy meant to impose any fear or stress or like you know what I mean, like to make Craig feel under threat. None of that was intended in any way, shape, or form. And if it was intended, then I wouldn't have still been talking to him blooming a few days late after the song and laughing with him a few days late after the song had been posted. No malice was intended in the song being posted by either of us towards Craig. It was intended because it was intended towards Paddy, because we were being threatened by him and the Smoking Sheriff for having an opinion on the Scotty J situation. That is the bottom line of the situation, Anne.
Yeah, I know Paddy's always threatening everyone. My God, he's threatened me. He's threatened everyone. I'm supposed to go down to the shed.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, Paddy. Like I'm going to go in there and have you do what you want to me. My God, no way. I'd be needing a bleeding ring.
And I've been told I can never step foot in Newcastle again. I've been told all kinds of things. Do you know that I worked in a chef in the city centre of Newcastle for 12 years? I'll go around Newcastle. I probably know more people in Newcastle city centre than Paddy. If you're talking about doormen and dealers and bloody bar managers and things like that. And this might sound a little bit cringe, but it's honestly true.
I was going to say one thing as well. Now, this is the thing that a lot of people are asking as well. Now, Ben's just put this on. And I don't know whether you want to leave this for Amy to answer all this. This transphobia and homophobia she seems to display. What's that all about?
Amy's not transphobic or homophobic, and I don't know how it's being perceived. And to be honest, I've never even watched back the things that Bibby have posted or the voice notes, so I can't comment directly because I've never ever watched them back. But when 10 years ago in Manchester, Amy was on Canal Street week in, week out. She was hanging around JAY. We've got one. There's photos of her. She's not homophobic or transphobic or gay.
I think what is when she turns around and says that the last fella she was with, who was, violent to her, it sounds like, and was not treating her very well at all. At least
Yeah,
he wasn't gay. That's what people are picking up on and calling
yeah,
what sounds like a trans man, a transvestite, which are two different things
yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
That's what is making people say, well, she's got some kind of bigotry going on.
Well,
I
I
know when I
suppose
heard it, I thought that's very bigoted, what she's saying.
I suppose maybe the nuances and the political correctness of the
No, no.
of the culture were maybe lost in the
Dimitri, don't
moment.
start.
But I'm not
Dimitri,
making
wait a minute.
excuses for anybody, Anne.
No, wait a minute. Don't start this politically correct, right? You can't get away from it. When someone turns around and starts going on about a tranny, a transvestite, when it's actually a trans man, or starts saying that the boyfriend who used to beat her up or whatever, at least he wasn't gay. That's not being politically correct. That's being a bigot. There's no way you can see that other way. So I'm
Well,
going to
look,
pull you on that.
okay, that's fair enough. But I'm not going to speak for Amy in that
Well,
sense.
is Amy going to come on? Because this is just not going to work. Is
I
if
don't.
every answer's going to be, I don't
Uh,
know, I don't
well,
know,
well,
I
that
don't know.
that 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 question won't be answered. But I mean, I can ask her. She's not here right now. I can ask her if she's going to come on. But I don't think she's going to be perfectly honest.
So people have to make their own minds up on that one. Then, about what's
Yeah.
going on,
Well,
but people are.
for now at least. I mean, I will ask her if she wants to come on. I'll ask her. I'll just go on mute for a second and I'll run up and see what the crack is.
Okay. So just say hello to some more people. Read the comments. Oh. Well, he said, I don't know what he said, the baby one, but I think he has, hasn't he? Oh, thank you, Mandy. Thank you. Oh, see, Mandy, you've got that Emma's little ass monkey on your case, haven't you? What's this called? Geordie boy. A Georgie boy. No, I understand what you're saying, Rach. I do believe they did know. I do believe it. I think they did know. And I'm being honest in saying that. Everyone else knew. Oh, you're meeting up with Mandy? Rach. Oh, that's nice. Supposed to be meeting. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're the new friend now, are you, man? Supposed to be meeting up with me for a coffee. Yeah, very nice. Now I'm pushed to the side. I'm just pushed out, Mandy, and Mandy's the best new matey, isn't it?
Are
Eh?
you all right, Anne?
Yeah, yeah,
Hi.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. No, she doesn't want to come on.
Yeah, but so we can't go over that side of it then. But yeah, it's just so.
Yeah.
Where do you think this is going on from now? Because a lot of people in the chat are saying that they don't believe you're telling the truth. What's your response to that?
Well, all I can say is that they can believe what they want. What am I not telling the truth about?
Well, there's things that this it's not gelling what you're saying sometimes, Dimitri. It's like the fact that you didn't know about the threat towards Craig and all that. That doesn't seem that's hard one to take on board that you
Well,
didn't know about that
okay, it
and
might
that you
not,
did. Let's finish it.
it might not sit right with you or a lot of people, but I don't really care either way. I am telling the truth.
But you get what I'm saying. You never watched the videos that Amy did. You never watched this. You conveniently are not
No, I
watching
didn't say
things.
I didn't watch the videos that Amy did. I said that I didn't watch the live in the shed with Paddy and Craig for longer than 20 minutes.
No,
And
you said you hadn't
I
watched
didn't
it.
hear anything about this deal, about this song. I
I
didn't
don't know.
know anything about it.
I might be imagining it, but did I? I don't know. I thought I heard you saying that you hadn't watched Amy's videos where she was the ones that were released, where she's going on.
Well, the ones that Baby released and the voice note.
Yeah.
No, I'm giving a view for the videos. I know exactly what. Well, I don't. To be perfectly honest, I don't even know exactly what's said in the videos. I can't remember. It was months ago. But no, I'm watching. Why would I watch something as embarrassing about that? I'm embarrassed enough sometimes hearing my own voice back on videos. Never mind hearing myself argue. I'm clicked on Bibby's videos. I watch these videos. People can believe what they want, but I haven't.
Don't be ashamed of your voice. There's nothing wrong with your voice or your accent, actually.
But yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with it.
But you know what I mean, and it's,
Oh, I
some
know. It's horrible listening. I know what you mean. When you hear
yeah,
your own voice, you hear it
yeah.
different from
I,
everyone
I
else, don't you?
I knew what the videos were when I saw them posted. I don't want to listen to his in like upset or arguing. I don't know exactly what's said in the videos. I don't know exactly what's said in the voice note that he posted because I've never listened to them. And again, people can believe what they want in the chat. You can believe what you want, Anne, but I am telling you, it's the truth.
So, what's your views? Here, I've got to ask you because he popped in a couple of times. I don't know whether he's still in the chat. What's your views on Sheriff at the moment?
But my views on the sheriff at the moment are pretty harsh views. I don't think that they can quite be aired on such a polite channel as yours, and to be honest. But don't you worry. I've spent like about 3 hours this afternoon making editing down clips and making a nice little video towards the sheriff. And this is certainly not dead with the sheriff.
Mm.
Certainly not. You will apologise for the things that you said. You will. I'll make them.
But I don't know whether
And by making them, I don't mean going. I don't mean going offline and threatening them or threatening to doorstep them like he has done to us. I don't mean anything like that. I am a much wittier person of much higher intellect than him. And can you remember when Craig was having a back and forth with him and how silly Craig made him look on a daily basis? I'll be doing the same. I'll be doing the same. He doesn't have to worry about that.
it's getting a lot of attention at the moment, isn't it? The old sheriff, the old sheriff. Hey, did you hear what he said? Right, if he's, I don't know if he's listening to this. I've got to pull him on this. He was talking. No, when it was thought that naturally, I mean, understandably, that it was me that you tried to cop off with. You know when that was going round.
Again, and I can honestly say I've in the last week and a half since all this happened, I've unsubscribed from every single content creator in this side of YouTube. Like nothing pops up on my feed. You don't, Ragpull doesn't, Craig doesn't, nothing does. Everything's hidden from me feed. I can say again with all honesty, I haven't heard a thing that the sheriff said in the last fortnight or so. But he's not forgotten about what he said about me and Amy. It's not forgotten.
But what I was going to say, right, was he said, which, get this, people, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked by what he said. He actually turned round and implied, more than implied, said it basically straight out, that the idea of Dimitri wanting to go with me means that he's desperate. How bloody rude is that, my darlings? Desperate. So if Dimitri came on to me, he'd be desperate for us. Cheeky git.
But personally, and if I was a single man, you know,
of course you would.
You could be the luckiest find of my life, but unfortunately for you, I'm taken, mate.
Amy's got there first. Amy's got there. It's understandable. Everyone in the chat is thinking the same. My God, Anne's a catch. I mean, I tell you now, if that sheriff if he got me in a room on his own, I tell you now, he could.
See, he doesn't just like straight up insult people's looks and threat them. He does it by proxy as well, Anne. Like, you know what I mean? He said he wouldn't have even meant to offend you there by that.
I know.
But that's how much of a ding he is. He offends people by proxy without even realizing it.
I think what it is, I do get him. I know what I think. He knows the game. He knows the game, and he's honest about it as well. In one way, he'll say that when he's after clicks and views and all this business, and that's what gets him the clicks and views. So I get what he's where he's coming from in that way of it, but he does know how to. Let's put it this way: he knows how to push buttons, doesn't he? He does know how to push buttons. I'll give him that.
Okay, like there's still actually is a couple of things that I've just got to mention from comments and things, because the list's got 3 things hashtagged next to it, like, which are the first one says my drug use. Because I've had a lot of comments saying that people think that Amy's getting us onto drugs, and that, like, well, we've already discussed Amy's situation with her recovery and things like that. So there's a lot of comments saying that Amy's getting me onto drugs, that I should get away with that because she's going to take us down a dark path because of her drug use, blah, 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 multiple again, and like so many you wouldn't even believe. Just to let everybody know that in the 10, 11 months that I've been in Liverpool, I have taken far less drugs than I would have in the previous 10 or I would have if I'd stayed in Newcastle, or in the previous 10 or 11 months when I was in Newcastle. Far less. I haven't done. My mates came to Liverpool once for 2 nights. I went out with them. I did some powders and some hallucinogenics. I've had a bit. I always smoke weed. I don't count weed as a drug, even though I know it is. But I don't think of it in that ballpark, because I say weed is medicine, and that's fine. That's my objective opinion, and it's provable by university scientists to say it is. So I don't count weed as an illegal drug. But when I was in Newcastle, I was hanging around with Craig on the weekly basis, taking drugs, staying over at his 1-2 nights a week. I was hanging around with other people. I was going to gigs. I was going to discos. I was going to house parties. I was a single lad. I was taking Class A drugs in Newcastle probably 2 or 3 times a week, as well as weed, as you know what I mean. Since when I moved here, how on earth am I going to be able to sort, like, my friends in Newcastle or people who, you know, distribute these type of things? I can go over to the house and have these type of things for free. You know, it was easy. I could just walk out the door, ring somebody, say, can I come round yours? And there would be there would be narcotics available for us to take. I've moved to Liverpool. I can't just ring somebody to my door. I can't just go around the doors around to my mates and get a fix, if you want to call it that. I've taken much less drugs since I've been in Liverpool than I would have if I'd been in Newcastle. And my life does feel better. I'm not saying I'm completely clean. I still drink. I still smoke weed. It's mushroom season right now. I'm not going to tell you exactly what type of mushroom I go out picking, but it's certainly not, horse mushrooms. But like, you know what I mean? Like, but people are accusing us of being led down this dark path by Amy. And again, I only bring it up because it's been said multiple times in both videos and comments. That isn't the case at all. That isn't the case at all.
Well, it's the old thing. People have to make their own decisions in life. No one forces you to do anything that you're not willing to do they? So, if you were, and I don't see any evidence of it, you're always talking lucid to me. There's no fogginess in the way you're talking or that you're on anything. If you were, that's your decision.
Well, of course, if I was, it was my decision.
Yeah.
But I just feel as though it's something to address that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I've read and heard multiple times that I'm being led down some darker path than I was already on. If anything, if I'd stayed in Newcastle, I'd probably be in a lot unhealthier situation in my mind and my body than I am now. I've not taken any kind of pill or powder since I can't even remember. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a ridiculous notion. The next one on me list is it's just another head in work. Okay,
Yeah.
because again, all this, why don't you get a job? You're toothless, jobless, blah de blah, blah de blah. You know what I mean? Where tax funding you, blah de blah. Just to let people know, up until around 13 or 14 months ago, I had worked in kitchens solidly without a gap for 22 years. I've been a chef for 22 years up until around about a year ago. The reason that I can't do that work anymore is that I ended up getting sepsis in my bloodstream through a burn on my hand that was in the kitchen. I had to have an ambulance come out of my house because I didn't realise how dangerous a situation I was actually putting myself in by not getting treatment. And I'm not talking Decker sepsis here, and I'm talking sepsis where the paramedics come to your house and put an immediate drip in your arm and put you on a stretcher with an oxygen mask and take you to hospital for 6 days. That's what I'm talking about. And that was caused through a burn that I'd gone at whilst at work. Now, I could go back into that line of work. I could get a job back in the kitchen tomorrow. I've got the experience to do it. If I went on Indeed.com and started applying for kitchen jobs, I could turn up and I could say to the gaffer, because all they care about in the kitchen is if you can do the work. They don't care about how you look, who you are, blah, 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 blah. All they want to know is, can you do this amount of work in this much time? You know what I mean? And I could get a job in the kitchen tomorrow. I'm fully qualified. Everything's up to scratch with all my certificates up to scratch. But having a position like that occur in my life where I've been burnt, a burn on my finger has caused us to be rushed in. Yeah, okay, maybe I should have sought like medical help for the burn prior to us developing sepsis. But that situation occurring kind of put us off the career path that I'd been on for the last 22 years and made us decide that I wanted to look for something else to do with my life rather than working kitchens. Now I had a job in Liverpool. I had a decent little job in Liverpool. It was fine. And then I decided to flip myself over a blooming pothole on my scooter, didn't I? And break me, like crack the lining of my jaw, break all of my nose, break all the skin on my face, knock my teeth out, blah de blah, blah de blah. It was a pretty severe accident I had, and that accident was on the way home from my job. That's when I had the accident. I was coming home from work. Now, I was took to hospital in an ambulance at that point. They did MRI scans to make sure I didn't have bleeds on the brain. The X-rayed all my jaw and my mouth and what have you, what have you. Now, I would like to say that if in that accident I had broken my leg would be fixed by now. It would be completely fixed. Now I would be back at work. I would be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking 3 months ago that accident happened. If I broke my leg or my arm or even cracked my skull, I'd be back at work right now. But because I hit my face and because I hurt my jaw and my teeth, and I had a further infection in my gums afterwards because obviously I'd knocked teeth out and things like that, and bacteria can get into the wounds. That like I'm signed off on the sick now. I was in the doctor's the other day. I said to the doctor this. I said to the doctor, I said, you know, doc, if I broke my leg, I would be back in work by now. But because NHS dentists still charge you £150 an appointment to get things like veneers and stuff like that done, then I'm the government are going to have to pay me until I can afford to get the treatment done, so that I feel that I'm not like that I look, so that, like, because it plays on my anxiety the way that I look. It's not just people on YouTube pointing out saying, "Oh, you look scruffy because your teeth are knocked out." That doesn't affect us. What affects us is the way that I feel that I appear to people in the real world. And I don't feel as though I'm in a position to go to job interviews and look people in the eye, because I do look like I've lost all my teeth through being on the pipe or whatever. But that isn't the case. I had an accident. It happens. If somebody, you know what I mean? If the NHS were willing to pay for us to have veneers fitted and cosmetic dentist work, it would be done by now. Like I say, if I broke my arm or my leg or fractured my skull or broken any other bone in my body, it would be fixed by now.
Yeah,
But
well,
but but people seem to have this. People seem to have this perception that I'm some kind of never worked in my life before, scruffy bloody job fearing, beg or whatever. That isn't the case. I've paid a lot into society. I've done a lot of things I'm very proud of in my career. I just all I wanted to do was take the time out to assess my options and change career. I'd done that. I came to Liverpool. I'd done that, and I got a job. And then I had an accident on the road.
Anyway, Jimmy, let's say something to you, right. When it comes to looks and stuff like that, now I was never born with anything that could be described as good looks, right? I was always told growing up and everything that I was ugly and all this business. And yeah, going through youth, it was horrible. And going through teenage years, it was horrible. And in my early 20s. But then I just thought, stuff it, I don't care what I look like. And as you get older, especially when you get to my age, you stop caring. It's like, so what if I don't expect to be gorgeous at this age. But there's an amazing woman, and I always refer people to her when people are worried about the looks and what people think about the looks, and when they're getting told they're ugly and this, that, and the other. There was a woman called Edith Sitwell, if you ever look her up, and she was a very strange looking woman. She was a Dame Edith Sitwell, a poet. And what she used to do, she used to wear these extraordinary, especially at the time, over the top lavish clothes. She'd wear jewelry that was huge. I mean, you're talking about big golf ball necklaces of jewelry and massive rings that would cover all the fingers. And so she was asked why she wore all this mad costume and all that. And her theory was, and it worked. She said, look, if people think that I look odd and look strange, she said, I'm going to make me attire
Yeah,
match that. And you know what? It was such a strong thing to say and
yeah,
such a wise thing. And so, as I say, looks you just go with it and you just take it. I don't think there's anything wrong with your looks. Your teeth, I can tell that you've had an accident because you can tell the way they're broken. Drugs wouldn't do that. Drugs would rot your teeth away. Your teeth haven't rotted away that you can tell they've snapped
The,
by
yeah,
some accident.
they've been knocked out on by having an accident. Well, I had one accident first when I had one accident about a year and a half to 2 years ago where I snapped one tooth when I was I, I I spent I got some inheritance money and I decided to spend £300 of the inheritance money on the best roller blades I could possibly
Yeah,
find. And
but
obviously, the first time that I went out to Leisure Park on the rollerblades, what do you think I fell on? Like, obviously, my face. like,
yeah,
so I initially snapped one tooth during that accident about a year and a half, 2 years ago, which granted I did never get seen to because I thought, well, that's just a snap tooth. I think I can kind of go through my life with that. I was working at the time. Like, you know what I mean? As much as I hurt, I just thought, oh well, I can crack on with that. But this further accident that I've had is like I need like a full expensive piece of dental treatment. You know what I mean? And no hospital or no like kind of free dentist is going to help us do it. I either need to
yeah.
go privately to do it or be afford to pay for the. I know the NHS top up your dental work appointments, but they don't pay for the whole treatment.
Oh no,
You
they
know
don't.
what I
No.
mean?
Here we are. Here's Edith Sitwell, so people can see what she looks like. Um, is that it? Which one is it? Yeah, here we go. Here she is, so people can have an idea what she looked like. Can you see her? Now she was extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. You can see there the hat she's wearing, the way she's dressed, the huge rings. She just went with it because she was brought up getting told how ugly she was and how, you know, 'cause especially because she was a lady, she was expected to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And so she just went with it and she became one of the most famous people of her time.
Well, yeah,
And that was
yeah,
down to her looks. People used to follow her, amazed, absolutely obsessed with her because she was this huge, bright character.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
but never worry about that. Never worry about looks. It's
yeah,
just not worth and
yeah,
anyone that judges you on that.
yeah. And
So,
like, okay, like this is the last point on the list, and you'll be glad to know. So maybe we could go on to some talk, free flowing chat or some. The list will end after this point.
yeah.
There'll be no more list. I'll film myself throwing the list out the window or burning it or something for a video later. But yeah. Me last point on the list, and I only say this because I've seen it multiple times, and he'll confirm it himself. I'm sure if he hears this, he likes making videos about anything, so I'm sure JDP will confirm this himself by bloody 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But just to let everybody know, who or in all the hundreds of comments that I've seen, that I've been feeding information to JDP all this time. Anybody can have a look with the of the interactions that I've had with JDP in my life. I have not been feeding any information to GDP about anything to do with anybody. And when I say anybody, I'm talking about, Craig and Rach and people like that. But I've seen multiple comments on multiple different channels accusing me of feeding GDP information over the last year. I can prove that I haven't. And if he's listening, which I'm sure he will, I'm sure he'll make a video by 8 a.m. in the morning saying that it's not true himself.
Just
So that's put to
let,
bed. That's
Ariel,
put to bed.
let's ask you something on that because I think I might know. Has this allegation just been made about you in the last 24 hours?
This allegation's been popping up not just in the last 24 hours. I would say maybe the last 72.
Because JDP did a video. This is my where that's come from. He did a video saying that you'd emailed him,
Ye-
and you
yes,
said you'd
yes,
explained what
he
had
ma-
happened. You know, yeah.
yes, he made that video this morning, and yes, I did message JDP because basically I messaged JDP to put straight because in his video prior to the one that he made, he was basically calling us a homo. So I messaged him to give him the outline of the scenario that I initially gave you when I first came
Mm.
on your live tonight. I said like he did. He made a video and like I'm not saying that it was a homophobic video, but he did angle his narrative towards just outright calling me a homo because of what had been disclosed without having any of the context of the situation or known
Oh,
any of the context of the situation. And I didn't expect them to make that video this morning, Anne, because I wanted to keep that story for your live this evening. But obviously, JDP, he is who
oh,
he is, yeah,
JDP. Yeah,
and he has to make a video about anything. So
that's
yeah, last night I did email him because I was a bit triggered, but not triggered. I'm not bothered. I wasn't triggered by his video. I just wanted to let him know what the truth of the situation was. So I messaged him last night, probably about 11 o'clock at night,
I think what it is that you say.
to give him the outline of the situation. But
Yeah.
no, that accusation hasn't just been levied since JDP made that
No.
video this morning. It's been going on for days. That I've took information out of the cult, that I've been feeding it to JDP, that I'm the snake in the grass and all of this, and that I'm JDP's Bezzy and I've been
But
working
wait a
along with.
minute. Just
I've been reading it,
hey, well,
but
wait a
I'm
minute. Hey, well, wait a minute. Just to put it in here. JDP doesn't come out with any exclusives from where I can see. He comes out with, he's thinking because things he says about, especially, we know he's got this, and it is an obsession over Craig. It's a total 100% obsession.
yeah.
Why the hell where's this come from? God knows, but he has got this. But he doesn't actually come out with, if you were feeding him information, and I'll just say this, right? If you were feeding him information, he'd be coming out with facts. He doesn't come out with facts. He comes out with, I think. And
Well, of course.
that's
Well,
what it is.
well, of
Yeah.
course, exactly, and that completely ruins that narrative in any ways. But as well, like I can speak for Amy in that matter as well. Like, neither of us have been feeding JDP any information
No, I
about
don't think
anything
you
to
have.
do with anybody. And it's provable. It's provable. But the only reason that was on my list is because I've seen it said multiple times over multiple days, not just since JDP made that video this morning. Not
Yeah.
and JDP will confirm this if he hear. I'm sure if JDP hears this live chat, he'll probably make a video about it right now because he just can't help himself. Bless him. I do like the kid a little bit, but
Yeah. Oh, he just sort of like he makes this little videos, and you think, here we go, and so he gets a bit of information, or he gets a idea in his head, and it's suddenly strung right out, isn't it? So you just
yeah.
think, oh, what's that
Yeah.
going on? What's happening? His house being
It's fireworks, and there might be for you. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check out the window to see if there's a Catherine wheel with your effigy on it.
yeah. Oh, they've been not so bad here, thankfully. And thankfully the cats are. How's your dogs doing? I saw your the little Pomeranian.
She's fast asleep at the minute right now, so the fireworks aren't waking her up because she's in like a deep sleep. But she doesn't like them when they are going off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? My dog, the last one I had, honestly,
What kind of dog
he
have
was
you got on?
no,
Oh,
this was a few years ago. I've got a cat now, but I used to have a dog, and he was a mix between um, oh God, a Chihuahua and a Shih Tzu. Beautiful, he was absolutely gorgeous. But the
yeah.
fireworks, he loved them. I used to have
He
to hold
actually
them up.
liked them.
He
Yeah.
loved them. I'd have to hold them up so he could see the fireworks in the back. He loved them, absolutely adored them.
that.
And the cat, I was worrying about this cat that I've got, this stray cat that adopted me. And honestly, he's fine. It doesn't bother him one bit.
Yeah. Well, I think I think cats are more placid in any ways. With like cats are more chill with bangs and crashes and things like that. It doesn't really faze them, but it's unusual for a dog to actually enjoy them.
Yeah,
Like
he enjoyed.
yeah, yeah, he must have been a special boy. Yeah,
Oh, he was. He was a wonderful little dog. He was. But yeah, he used to do that. And his mum. Another strange thing about him, because I got his mum. His mum was a stray, and I didn't know
yeah.
she was pregnant at the time. And so when she had one little puppy, that was it. I thought I've got to keep that pup. I can't, put the pup out for someone who wants it. I swear down, this was so freaky. I'd go on the bed, and now and again let them two of them sleep on the bed. And I
Yeah.
swear down, they used to start twitching and dreaming at exactly the same time and stop. It was
Oh, that's
freaky.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's cute.
And I
I
used
get
to
it.
say, are they sharing each other's dream? Because it was so weird the way they did it. But enough about my little joggies anyway and my little cassies. But anyway, I'm thankful that you came on, uh, Dimitri, and you're welcome on again, of course, Rod, anytime you want to talk about anything or just join in on any of the chats that are going on at the time. But anything else you want to go over before we say good night?
No, and the list is done.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, we will speak again, and
yeah,
yeah, I'll let you know when, like when I'm free or whenever. Just hit us up.
yeah, yeah. I will do. Definitely will do. So anyway, to everyone in the chat, thank you for watching and listening. I should say listening, shouldn't I? But
Yeah.
thank you for listening. So I'll leave you all with this. And so thanks for that, Dimmy. And I'll say good night to everyone.
Okay. Good night, and it's been a pleasure.
And you. Good night.
Good night.
So I'll do an acro with Terry Tackle. Terry Tackle's asking me for a Sarah's law and a Claire's law. Two that. So I'll do an acro with Terry Tackle. Terry Tackle's asking me for a Sarah's law and a Claire's law.